long ago there was nothing but darkness, and in that darkness was the Great Spirit, Creator. So they said the Great Spirit sitting above in the darkness, he had a thought, a dream, and a vision himself. And when he thought of it, it spread from his mind. Just like when you throw a stone in a pond, ripples out. So they became the stars, the sun, the moon, and the earth. And when the Great Spirit looked on the earth, it was just a stone. And he said, nothing can live on just a stone. And then he put the water on that stone. He looked at it again, he says, no, nothing will live on that. So then he put the earth on that stone. Oh no, it's still not ready yet. So then he put the trees and the grass and everything like that. Then the animals. But he did not put the human beings on the earth yet. Everything he put on the earth has a spiritual life and has a spirit power to it.
Welcome to this sacred land, this sacred ground.
Years ago, when our ancestors negotiated those treaties, they were looking 7 generations ahead and asking themselves, what will we be leaving to that 7th generation? And with each generation, we're given that responsibility to look 7 generations ahead and ask ourselves that question. What will we be leaving to those yet unborn? So right now, that's my responsibility, my son's responsibility. My youngest grandson is 6 years old. That will become his responsibility when he becomes an adult. But we have to educate our young people so that they're able to cope with this, and able to deal with it. And so that's what we endeavor to do right now.
When a white man looks at a mountain, he sees the resources. He looks at the money that's going to go with it, the wealth that will go with the mining. But if an Indian looks at it, he's going to look at it and say, well, if we dig that mountain up, we're going to pollute the water. And my ancestors told me not to dirty the water, respect the water, or none of us are going to live.
Well, we need to unite in our attempts to take care of this world, this land that we live on, and not pollute. For us, we recognize that there's a spirit in everything that exists. For example, that lake over there, I'm talking about Mille Lacs Lake, when they do their offering of tobacco over there, one of the places they send their tobacco to is that spirit within that lake. They recognize there's one in there. There's a power within there. So, for example, when they go out on that lake, they do a tobacco offering before they go out there to fish. We need other peoples to recognize that it's almost like everything on this earth is like a living being, and we have to treat it respectfully. And that certainly it's an area that we can unite and bring people together and share in that concept.
Of course, you've got to put tobacco down and talk for all that. That's the whole idea. You give something back for what you take. Then he even said to me, if you don't even have tobacco on you, if there's something that you value or you like, you can leave that as an offering. Let's say I had a pocket knife or something. They could put that down for those plants and then take them. And there would be no punishment because you're giving up something that you like to those plants. And it wouldn't matter if some other Indian person come by later and said, hey, look what I found, a knife. Because they said everything has a spiritual part and a physical part. And what we Indian people are taking is the physical part. But yet when you do it with prayer, you're using both parts, spiritual and physical. They come combined again. And that's what makes that plant powerful as a medicine. So every place we go and every place we set our feet, we're on the spirit ground, every place. Except now, cement covers everything.
I hate to put you on the spot, but how would you define Manidookung, spirit ground?
Spirit ground. It was made by the Great Spirit. So that's why we think the earth is so sacred, because it belongs to the Great Spirit. It's his garden. He plants it. He takes care of it. He lets us live on it. He lets us live on it and use all these things. He lets us use the water, so we have to be really, really careful and take care of it.
We have to depend on the Great Spirit and the powers that be. But once we offer our tobacco and our prayers and so on, then we can't sit back and expect it to happen. We have to become actively involved as environmental advocates and try and educate as many people as we can as to the seriousness of the problem.
Lately I've been learning about styrofoam cups and styrofoam plates. Someone has been reminding me not use those. When you trash those cups, they go in the earth and they're real damaging to the earth itself. So it's important that we take care of the earth.
But I guess what I'm saying is we use things and we do things that sometimes we don't realize it's affecting things. Because I'm putting gas in my truck, am I affecting the health of this birch tree in the woods? You weren't supposed to answer me. No, no. They used to tell me, when I talked to them, they would say, one birch tree, one canoe. One birch tree, one canoe. Now, what does that mean? Nope. That means this canoe right here, 16 feet long, 5 feet wide. One tree, one piece of bark, you would get this much. We wouldn't have to sew it together like this. Right? One tree, one canoe. Now try to find that one. Try to find that. What our ancestors, they used to have a tremendous amount of resources.
The Native American teachings are all based on taking care of the environment because it preserves life, it sustains life. It's, people say like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, it's like the earth is not even significant, But to Native Americans, everything, it provides life for us. And if we don't take care of it now, think about your children. What will your children have? Will they have clean water to drink? Will they have clean air to breathe?
Everything that you see around us, inside this room, outside of this room, comes from Mother Earth. Doesn't come from anywhere else. Everything that we wear, our clothes, our shoes, come from Mother Earth. It didn't come from nowhere else. It didn't come from Mars. So we honor her for all that she provides us with each and every day. Without that, things are still going to be happening. if we keep taking, and not giving.
Just take what you need. Don't take it all. Otherwise, you're going to get a punishment. If you take more than that, the spirits see that, they're going to say, why is he taking so much? Is he planning to be that sick? Well, we'll make him that sick. Well, people always said, don't leave no trace of your passing, which means, you walk through someplace, don't take so much of everything that you leave a marked trail.
We understand that. We understand that lifestyle, and we understand what we take is not to be abused. And we've always done that from the beginning of time. All these things that go on with Mother Earth, clear cutting, all these things, damming up the land, all the resources that happen. Sure, it's people think it's going to sustain us. It's only sustained us for so long because we interrupted that life cycle, just like within that medicine wheel.
And in the seventh fire, one of the prophecies would be that we would, the fish would be unfit to eat, the trees would stand bare, and man would start creating. And I see this sometimes and it scares me because I see all these trees. I look at these ash trees, they're being eaten up by insects. I look at they've got Dutch elm disease has claimed a lot of our elm trees. They have this thing they call oak wilt. All the oak trees are dying. And you can ride along, you can see all these trees are dying. When the trees stand bare, that would cover that. And then the fish would be fish unfit to eat. We have a lot of warnings about mercury poisoning or mercury levels in the water. That would be a sign. And this one really scares me is when man starts creating. Because now we have test tube babies, we have surrogate mothers, we have, they can manipulate chickens and cows. And then, of course, we inherit all this stuff. We eat the cows and we eat all this stuff. So these are really scary prophecies.
From a sustainable environmental perspective, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing Native Americans today?
Oh, the greed and that insatiable lust for political power and control. The value system of the industrialized world. They have their own theology that's custom made for exploitation of the resources. And that's what we're fighting. We have that character called a Wendigo in our culture. And that's the spirit of greed and excess. There are many stories about that one. So now we're facing those modern Wendigos.
I think our biggest challenge is just what I said. Revitalizing and reconnecting with the earth. Reconnecting with the earth, because that's the only way how we're going to survive. But we're at the crossroads right now where we have to create, I believe, opportunities for spiritual leaders, politicians, decision makers, etc., to come together. I mean, we're going to have to be very creative and learn how to survive these ways to sustain ourselves.
But yet, there's always hope. There's always hope. It's never going to be a final thing. There's always hope. And like you said, everything goes in a circle. And it'll come back.